Let me go to Gary. Gary's calling us from Maryland. Hi, Gary.
Hi, Dan.
How are you?
Very well. I've been listening to your show for about a year. I've heard you say often about investing in gold and silver, that you don't recommend it as protection against a financial Armageddon.
Yes.
And I was wondering what should I do, since I am just dreadfully fearful about the collapse of the U.S. currency. Where do I go for protection against a horrible deflation of the U.S. dollar?
Well, that's a great question.
Or devaluation, rather.
Devaluation, yes. I knew what you meant there. Yeah, the devaluation of the dollar. Here's what my thought is, and I really believe that I'm right on this. One of the things that's going to happen, and I think one of the greatest protections that we can have against inflation and the devaluation is going to be energy, is going to be oil. Here's the thing that I like about it, is it can be very easily converted to cash. Now, when we have a devaluation of dollar, our oil price is going to go down. Maybe as a knee-jerk reaction, everything is going to go down. That is for sure. But I can assure you that oil companies, and I'm talking about big, large oil companies, the big natural gas companies, they're not going to be down very long. As a matter of fact, I think it's going to be a miscalculation of the government if the government decides to devalue. Because it's such a global market, because it is probably one of the most precious commodities in the world. I mean, you can say what you want about gold and silver, but there are no fundamentals to gold and silver other than it's pretty and it's shiny. I mean, there's no real fundamentals. There's no reason why the market, now, will it go up in inflationary times? Will gold go up in a devaluation time? Absolutely, will go up in value, no doubt about it. But you're going to be paying if you can find a buyer for it. Remember, when this happens, we're going to be in a very bad position. There's going to be massive layoffs. There's going to be a lot of unemployment. There's going to be a lot of hurting people. And the number one concern of people is going to be feeding their families and eating themselves. It's not going to go a whole lot further than that. That's what the major concern is going to be. And what's going to happen, I believe, to those that own gold, you're going to sell it for anything you can get for it, at any price, at any commissions, to get some of the worthless dollars you were trying to avoid. And I think that's exactly what's going to happen. As an investment and as an investor, is gold going to go up in value? Absolutely. Is it going to go up in value more than oil? Absolutely. It is going to go up. I'm not arguing that. But you know what? All of that is not worth a plug nickel if you can't sell it, if you can't convert it into some of those worthless dollars. So I would want something that on overnight I can convert to cash immediately without spending as high as, and I've seen this, 40% commissions if you don't own it physically. So I believe, and it's one of the things I've been saying, is everybody needs to have some energy in their investment strategy. So if I were converting everything I own to cash and sticking it in a money market account, sticking some in a coffee can in my house and sticking some in a money market account, that would be fine. But I would want to definitely have some in some oil company stocks that are going to appreciate during this time, and that if I want or need to, I can sell it very quickly. So, that's really the only thing you can do. Now, I would not recommend. So, all right, Dan, if that's the case, why wouldn't I put, 75% of my money there? Well, for the same reason you wouldn't put 75% of your money in anything. We don't want to put all our eggs in one basket, and we want to hedge everything by having some great diversification. So with the exception of cash, I wouldn't want to put all my money in anything. necessarily, but I would want to have, some position in some of the things that are going to do well. Listen, if government collapses and government bonds go bankrupt, municipality bonds go bankrupt, school bonds and all those other bonds go bankrupt, corporate bonds go bankrupt, there is no money. I can tell you that I would much rather own a share of ExxonMobil that, trust me, is not going anywhere under any condition. It's just not. It's not going anywhere. And rather than a government bond that the government could declare a default on all those bonds in order to get themselves out of a debt bubble that they have and never get any money for it. So if I had a choice of who's stronger, what are the better odds of surviving and actually even doing well, I don't think there is any other option out there, in my opinion, but oil. And I would have, and I do have, some foreign currency, some actually government-minted currency. I have some Swiss dollars, Swiss francs, because I do believe that they have to be accepted. Gold can be made illegal because it's an alternative currency. The gold can, the government can say, like they did in 1935, and that law is still in the books, that they can say at any time, gold is illegal to trade, sell. Maybe they could say, like China does with silver, it's illegal to even own. And so now you're in a worse situation because now you're selling it on the black market. It is crazy to believe, Gary, it is crazy to believe that the government, with a collapsed currency on their hand, is going to allow an alternative currency to undermine the government currency even further. I mean, it's crazy to think that they would allow that. They can't do anything about a sanctioned, a sovereign nation, government-minted currency. They can't do anything about that. Banks are going to have to take it. I believe merchants around the country are going to be taking it, just like it is right now today in every major country except for the United States, where you can go in there with shekels, rubles, dollars, francs, whatever you want, and you can buy a bottle of pop with an American dollar or any other currency anywhere. And I think that's where we're going to end up in those crises. So I would have those two things. I would have some oil so that you can sell it and generate some cash, and I'd have some cash at home. I'd have maybe some foreign currencies.